You're now watching Temperature Check podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe.
I always wanted to be in a movie or a skit with just everyone that I looked up to in comedy, from back in the day to now. Like Ricky Smiley, Mike Epps, some more,
Legends.
D.L. Hughley. One thing is, it saddens me because I'm just like, dang, I did not get that time with Bernie Mac because he was my all-time favorite.
You got a top five? Top five comedians?
Favorite comedians or just like top five?
Top five comedians.
That I like?
Yeah.
Bernie Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I said Ricky Smiley.
Yeah.
Mike Epps.
Okay.
And that's a tough five.
I'll give you an honorable mention after your five.
And myself.
Okay.
All right.
So you got an honorable mention? Anybody you want to add in outside of the five that you also like, but you just couldn't put them in your five?
I like Just Hilarious.
Just Hilarious.
She's hilarious. Bro.
I like her. I like DC Young Fly. The ones that are younger than me.
Yeah.
I like them. Carlos Miller is fucking
that
man. There is so god. He's like
creative as hell.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, give that man his flowers because he is hilarious as hell. There's a girl. I don't know if she's a comedian, but she started out doing these really funny videos, and she's been nominated for an Emmy for Abbott Elementary.
Oh, that lady. She's hilarious.
I've been watching her videos for years.
Abbott Elementary it's a great show. Shout out to that show.
Because when it first came out, I'm like, damn, she looked familiar.
I remember when I was trying to create a video about, it was like a green screen about how I met my spouse. And I was just looking to see if anybody had anything similar, and I found hers. And I was like, dang, I can't do it.
And that's
because I don't want to come off as biting.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. And I like the fact that she stuck to her culture. Like, she didn't just try, she did a lot of videos, a lot of white people, but it was more so making fun of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a way to where she didn't come off as racist. So shout out to her.
Yeah. So, Dre, what's your five? Top five comedians.
Chappelle.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
He gonna be on my all-time number one.
Okay.
Chappelle. I'm gonna go with Carlos
Okay.
Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's where it gets tricky at.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of names you ain't saying. You ain't got too much room left to go.
Cat Williams.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. You got one more. You got one more. There's a lot you ain't say.
I know.
There's a lot you ain't say.
Oh, I gotta add.
I'm gonna go with home team. Duval.
Okay.
Duval.
But wait, I gotta throw in one because we ain't mentioned him, and he is the GOAT.
Ooh.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy is hilarious. Yeah.
The fact that let me tell you something. Where were you when the Nutty Professor came out? Were y'all born?
I've seen Nutty Professor. But see, the thing with Eddie, I liked him more after I seen his stand-ups. Because I didn't catch his stand-ups. I saw Nutty Professor and Coming to America. I love Coming to America.
Mm-hmm.
I seen, his later stuff was good too, but I really, really like Eddie when he was raw. I
had to sneak and watch that because my thing is, in order for me to get away with certain things, I used to listen to Richard Pryor. I used to listen to Red Fox. I used to listen to Eddie Murphy, and I used to stay up late because, back then you couldn't listen to stuff like that. So I'm just sitting there just the way they used to just throw things in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, my vocabulary is colorful because of these men.
Yeah.
Even with Monique, when she first
Monique,
came,
shout out to Monique.
Yeah. Back
Legend,
then, she
queen.
was, damn, she really made you hate skinny women back then. I'm like,
Because she wanted to big herself up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's everyone just came and they were just so creative, and it was just damn, I learned a lot from just listening to comedians, and it was my safe place because I dealt with a lot of, even though a lot of my comedy comes from the things that I went through.
I could tell from the comedians you like.
Right.
Yeah, it's
all the comedians you named, they talk about their experiences.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing with me. I'm just back then, I'm just why am I going through so much? Why am I being bullied and picked on? But I'm you know what? My story is funny. that whole with the paramedics, that was true.
Yeah.
That shit
You know,
was
and then
hilarious.
even when just to kind of give y'all a little run back, it was like I have been this size and height since I was a child.
Mhm.
You know, you would have thought my mom gave birth to a baby ape, you know, or something, because
I'm not gonna
Could
lie.
have said
Keep
Amazonian.
a straight face
elephant or
and
something.
keep looking.
It be the things that she say, bro.
Just keep a straight face.
But the one thing just like that time where on Halloween, you know, all the girls was little and petite and they wanted to be, you know, Aaliyah and Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim and all this other stuff. And I wanted to be the Brat because I'm like, okay, well, the Brat was beautiful and she was a tomboy and like me.
Shout out to the Brat.
And I was like, okay, well, I can be the Brat. And they was like, no, your sister looks more like the Brat. And I'm like, you got to go for somebody that, you know, fits more your character, like who you could really go for. So I'm like, well, who can I be? And they was like, oh, well, you can be Shaquille O'Neal.
The fuck? The fuck? It's just, it was a bad pick. Like, it's funny, but it was a bad pick.
Look at me, he died.
There's
He
so
died.
many. I would have went with Queen Latifah. You know what I'm saying? I would have went with even Missy Elliott. You could have went with
As the child that I was, I probably went with Shaq first. I'm like, I became this person to start naming the names that you said. But as a kid, bro, I know me, bro.
I mean, they could have gave me Lisa Leslie or something, but
I ain't know who that was back
Lisa
then.
Leslie.
They always call me that.
You know, I was trying to think of that in my head. I'm like, what is her name? And then you said it.
Yeah, it
So,
was like, you know, I got everything. Like, you know.
Oh, you could have
like,
been Layla Ali. Was she already doing her thing?
Layla Ali wasn't
But
tall.
you talking about back then. See, back then, I don't know if they was popping. Like
Yeah.
they were.
Layla Ali is a boxer. She's not tall.
I don't know how tall Layla Ali, but she looked tall.
No, she not. I don't think she always thought they were 5'7".
She look like she got some height on her.
But thing is, I'm 5'11", so you're in. You know, in middle school, kids are like what 4 feet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
She got height.
All, yeah. So.
She got some height on.
But man, like it was horrible. Like I remember one time I came to school, it was Christmas. They was like, you can wear all green or you can wear all red. So I don't know why I chose all green, because as soon as I came into school, they're like, ho ho ho, green giant, and I'm like,
the green giant. I don't know why I thought of the movie Grinch. When you said all green, I was like, they said Grinch, huh?
No, they.
You're a mean one.
I mean, it was Jolly Green Giant. Like every tall name that you could ever think of, I was called. I mean, Andre the Giant. I didn't even
Andre the Giant. Shout out to him. That's a legend right there.
Oh yeah,
Shout
but
out to
I
him,
got
baby,
creative.
baby,
That's
yeah.
why I said I listened to a lot of comedy. Like, so, you know, I think my first joke was something about this one girl. I didn't know, like her mom was deceased, but her mom was sick, and she was getting really skinny. And I was like, that's exactly why your mom is so skinny. She could hula hoop to a fucking Cheerio.
I
bitch.
remember that. That's a classic joke.
And yeah, I heard it, and I was like, you know what? I've never heard kids say it. I heard an adult say it. I think it was Red Fox that said. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I went to school and said it. All of a sudden, she want to fight you, and I'm like, well, I was like, because she said her mom died, and I'm like,
oh no.
Yeah. So then my mom had to get called to the school.
Yeah, shit got serious too quick. It was like, and then now when they say it, and then they tell your mama, and her mama dead.
And
So
it's like, and it's like with my family, they like to gossip. So I always knew about somebody in the neighborhood. So I'm like, hey, ain't your daddy on drugs on Center Avenue?
Oh,
like,
so
that's your daddy.
she pointing out all the things that everybody's ignoring to say.
It's like I will point out facts.
She got said.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna just put it out there. I know we all seen her mama.
Like, you know, so I would never like. And the thing is, I would make it creative. Like I'm like, oh, look, who am I, y'all? I'm like, I'm her daddy.
She
That's
going
your
for the
daddy.
gusto. She
Like,
going for the gusto. Oh my God.
Or
I would want to fight you too.
Yeah.
but
That's
it's
a
like,
fade.
but if I got picked, I get to a point where if I got picked on, I'm gonna get on you back. Like the
Right.
one
Yeah.
girl, she's like, "Oh, my mama's rich. My mama's rich." I'm like, "Your mom gave us donuts for free. She works at Dunkin' Donuts." Pipe down. Like it was like.
Yeah, she wasn't going. She wasn't going.
It got
for
to a point because it's get to a point where you just get sick of it. Like I
Yeah.
get sick of running home talking about, "Mommy, I'm ugly. Mommy, they're picking on me. I'm big
Yeah.
as shit running home."
Yeah. And then,
Could you imagine big me?
Yeah.
Big me, as big as I am running.
Yeah.
Like, come on, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do little girl things.
Mm.
You know how little girls that you hear a thunderstorm, they want to get in the bed with you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Get your ass.
Yeah.
so it's like, "Mommy, can I sleep in the bed with you?" It's like, "What do you mean? You like, you're 6 feet tall. Go to bed." I'm like, "But I'm 8."
Yeah.
You know. So
Oh, so she's like, "Hey, nigga, look at this bed." You see room on here? You see room on here?
She didn't even check on well-being. The first thing that came out her mouth was, "You're 6 feet."
Go lay down. You 6 feet. Go lay down.
I mean, it
That's
was.
some black mother stuff, though. They tell you, go lay
But
down.
my brother and sisters didn't have that. It
That's
was
like the remedy for all black people.
Like-
Go lay down. You acting up. Go lay down. You sick. Go lay down.
I mean, it's a thunderstorm outside.
Yeah.
I thought it
Nah,
was
this
the
gonna
end
be
of the.
okay
It
then.
was
Yeah.
right. It's,
Go lay down.
it's
Right.
the end of the world.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Mommy, I'm scared." "You are 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Go lay down." I'm
Go
like,
lay down.
"Can I get in the room with you?" So I'm like, "You're a." And I hear her whispering, like, "She's almost a grown ass woman." I'm like, "But I'm 8 years old. Like, what you want me to do?" I'm like, man, I just couldn't do.
Yeah.
That's when I realized that I ain't got no choice but to do comedy. I have to make my life funny. I have to capitalize off it. I have to, because my life was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And you know, black
The
people
little
gonna
stuff-
find some way for you to laugh at it, bro.
Yeah.
You already
because
know.
think about it. Think about what you dress your daughter in.
Mhm.
Would you put that on me right now?
No.
And I'm a child.
Mm.
I'm a child. I'm 11 wearing an 11.
Yeah. So she gotta buy you like regular clothes, like stuff like.
Like,
A
I
grown
mean,
She gotta go when she go shopping for her.
She gotta shop for you too.
and not even that, because my mom's only 5'3".
So you gotta buy clothes.
So I had to
that-
start dressing like a boy, because
Uh-huh.
that's how I felt comfortable. Because it's like, when you're a big girl in elementary school, you're not really shaped. It's like, imagine if Gumby blew up or some shit like that.
Mm.
It's the names that you
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah.
She chose.
Yeah. Gumby.
I mean, I was just,
Yeah.
and
Bro, do you know who Gumby is?
I'm trying to keep a straight face. I told you that since earlier. I'm trying to keep it
What the
straight.
hell, bro? No.
but it was just like, just certain little things. Like, you have the girls with the, barrettes and braids.
Mhm.
I am as big as a damn grown ass man. I'll show y'all a picture. Let me tell you something. I remember when one time shout out to my Nana, may she rest in peace.
Mm.
even
The
say
way
like
that
she
she
was-
said it, like I was.
I had
Maybe?
very
Maybe.
okay, so my grandma was very big on my hair.
Okay.
Like I had very, very long hair
Mm.
for forever.
Mhm.
And my great grandmother, I don't know what her problem was.
Mm.
I don't know if she had some type of vendetta against me, but I was getting a relaxer that day. So no lie, she left that shit in so long from here all the way to here. This whole side was shaved, came out.
Oh.
My mom was like, "Yo, is she auditioning for Salt and Pepper? Because what the fuck is going on?"
So you
here?
had the Cassie.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You
but
had
it wasn't
the
Cassian.
One side here.
It wasn't
one side.
Cassian. It was more giving me like, Casper on this side, because it was bald as fuck, and then it was like, me on this side. So,
Damn.
Damn.
so what they had to do is when it was growing back, really niggerish. So I had to wait till this side wasn't perm no more, and then they just cut it.
Wait,
so,
time out. They left you with this side
yeah.
the whole time?
I would have just.
My grandma ended up having me get braids so it can go over. So
So you had braids that came over on the other side and just hung down.
yeah.
Oh Lord. You remember those? You remember that hairstyle when you was in school when girls would get the braids and then it just, Just sit on the side of
They'll
the
just
stage.
like look. So they'll braid it right here
Yeah.
and hang down, and everybody used to call me like Mr. T and shit like that. When
I keep thinking of Cassie. That thumb, 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 thumb.
no, I was giving Mr. T like I remember when I wore my
I
my
seen that interview recently where Diddy was like, who's that? Jock said he just walked up to Cassie and was like, I want you to shave the side of your head. And she did it. And she did it, yeah.
I didn't want the side of my head shaved. I was a kid. And then the sad part about it was they had to cut my hair. So I was like probably the only black girl with a bowl cut.
Mm.
And like that mushroom bowl. And I had, not to mention I had big ass glasses because I can't see shit.
Yeah.
So I am this big girl with this big ass head. And mind you, I was real fat. So I had the hot dog pack in the back. And
you got the extra skin.
Not anymore. I'm talking about back then. I was a child.
Nah, that's understandable.
Everything wasn't filling.
Yeah.
Maybe that fat went to my fingers. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it just stretched out. And
Yeah.
I'm a terrible kid because I'm just thinking like I would have had a field. Like, oh shit, bro. Oh
So,
my God.
what happened was I ended up wearing because I used to dress like a boy, and I had like these really small silver glasses, and I went to school, and I'm sitting all of a sudden these kids in the back are going ooh.
Oh, they hit you with the 40.
I didn't know what they was doing.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking, ooh, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? I'm like, what's wrong with you? You came to school looking like E40.
Damn.
And then I'm telling you,
40 wall.
man, let me tell you something. You know what's crazy? I put a throwback picture on Facebook of that picture.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and my ignorant ass boyfriend gonna talk about song. You went from 40 water to Bay. I'm like,
The
yo.
man. Dumb. Tell me when to go.
You know what?
Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.
So, but you know what? The petty part about so y'all just lit.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Y'all lit off my
playing.
y'all lit off my pain. That's what
When
but
you
you know
start
what the
playing that
best part
song-
about this is the fact that almost everybody's made fun of me. They're fucked up now.
That's the most
That's
beautiful
the-
thing
Oh
when it
my
comes
God.
to
It's like,
the game
hey,
of life.
D, ew.
Yeah, it's the funny part about the game of life because in the game of life, nobody wants to peak in school. That's the worst thing. Like the people that had all the clothes and the shoes and the nice hair and you know what I'm saying, like the celebrity, the
Right.
school celebrity.
Right.
There's nothing worse than getting out of school and that was it. Like your run was high school and it's all downhill from here. Like
I mean, there's not one person that I can say like. I mean, you got some of that aren't ugly, but it's
Right.
some of them are like.
yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I'd rather have taken the L then.
yeah,
Right.
I'd rather take the L or beat it in that middle. You know, that middle when you ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Then you get out of high school and then you start getting those, oh, you look good. Like every day you looking better
comment on the
looking.
picture,
I'm
oh
like,
my God, you're so beautiful. I'm like,
Hello.
bro, where was you when I had the berets
Yeah.
and the Star Spangled Banner outfit? And you was telling me like, I'm walking to school, y'all talking about I pledge allegiance. Like,
oh God.
you know?
I am terrible, bro.
Oh
I have
my
to start
God.
talking to my middle school friends like, bro,
Yeah.
was I that bad, bro? Because
Because of you, somebody probably is in therapy.
I don't look. What
Salute to y'all, bro.
when I met you, right? You wasn't bad. You had jokes, and if you wanted to go, you would go. But you wasn't like some people. They looked for someone
Yeah.
and they went at them. But you were more so like, if we joking, I'm joking because I got
but you
jokes.
know why? Because of my laugh.
Yeah.
I told you it's contagious.
Yeah.
So it's just like I was more so making it worse for him.
He the
You-
perfect hype man for a
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I'm ranking somebody, I want Dre there. Cause even if my jokes are mid, they up.
Yeah, 'cause shout out.
They up 'cause of him.
It's that laugh like, oh shit, that shit really
Yeah,
is
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, once you hear that laugh, you be like,
Then they not even
damn.
paying attention to the joke no more. They
Yeah.
just like, dog, this nigga.
Yeah,
is-
because
Yeah.
the first episode, when I talked about what the paramedic said to me, your laugh was like, wait, fuck what I said. Who was that laughing?
Yeah.
Like,
That shit
I'm
is
like, who is
hilarious.
that?
That shit is hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out to my old girl. She got the same laugh.
Oh, she do? See,
Same
that's a
laugh,
beautiful
bro.
thing to pass on.
What?
It-
But
no.
I wanted to talk about as far as like when you was talking about comedians, I feel like now there are more variety of comedians, right? And I watched this thing. It was like Phase on Love, and he was talking about Country Wayne. And Country Wayne said he makes a lot of money through social media, Facebook and stuff like that. And Phase on Love was more so old school, so he's used to those residual checks from like movies and stuff like that. So he's like, he's not really making no money. Like, you can't like prove it to me. Like how do I see what you making? You know what I'm saying? Compared to him, you can pull it up type stuff or whatever. So seeing that situation, you know, I looked at two different worlds clashing. You know what I mean? And it's all because they don't understand each other. I remember when social media started taking off, like Instagram and stuff, and then you start getting these Emmanuel Hudsons coming out. And the stand-up comedians are like, oh, that's not real comedians. They only funny for 15 seconds. And that's a thing. Like those, there are debates in that world of comedy where they don't look at social media comedians the same. Because we done seen some that came from social media try to do stand-up and bomb. And then we also done seen some comedians try to do those little clip videos and it just isn't funny.
It's
you know
what's
what I mean?
for you is what's for you. You know, that's one thing. And I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine because he felt like because he's a stand-up comedian, you know, and I'm not. It's like, one, if you are funny and you can make other people laugh, you are what they call the comedian. Just like if you're in a clique, you have somebody that is the comedian, you have someone that's the serious one, the ignorant one, and you always have that one. No matter who I'm around, I'm always the funny one. I'm either the loud one, the funny one, or both. Even when you watch TV shows, even with girls, okay, you know the show Girlfriends? It's always that one that's funny. Or your homeboys, or, you know, a show, there's always that one that just has to be funny. You know, it's just the way it is. I don't feel like, you know, 2022, it's 2022. Like, there's different avenues of doing things. Like, people don't have to, you don't even have to be a chef anymore. You could just whip up some shit on TikTok
on
and it's like,
media.
you know,
go viral.
You could be an online chef and just
look at what Tabitha Brown was. She is an actress. She started off as an actress, and she stopped acting because she used to get these terrible migraines, and she got sick, so she stopped acting. She went on TikTok and she told herself she was gonna be vegan for like 30 days. I think like 15 years ago, and she started making recipes. She only had 2 followers on TikTok. And you see her everywhere. You walk in Target, that is the first person you see. Besides Pride, where you see Tabitha Brown. And it's like, social media right now can take you there because she came from, you know, where you make movies and stuff. She's the prime example of you can do both. You can ride the wave. If social media is what it is right now, why would you want to go back to old school? That's just like, we got a MacBook Air, but we still want to use a typewriter.
But I feel like we're in a world where all of it is needed. So stand-up comedians are needed just as much as Instagram, and Instagram is just as much needed as comedians in movies, because there's some people that's not funny unless they're in a movie. You know
I feel like Tiffany Haddish is extremely funny in movies, but when I did see her stand-up, you know, shout out to her. I do like her. Back then when I used to watch her when she was on I forget her show. It was on LA Drive or something like that. She was funny, but the thing is, she's very funny as an actress, but she is still a comedian. She is still showing, you could tell that it's not hard for her to be funny. And even when she does interviews, she's funny. But some people, stand-up is just not for them.
I feel like she's more funny, like you were saying, in acting. Like, when I seen her, I don't know if y'all watched the Carmichael show.
Oh, my
Man,
God.
she was hilarious in the Carmichael show.
Shout out to Carmichael, because everybody that was on that show either went to either went to another show and they just got movie deals.
And they had legends.
They had legends.
The mom and the dad been playing in movies and TV shows for
got
years.
his show.
Rel got his show. Rel played in Get Out after that.
And he was funny in that movie. Motherfucking TSA.
So that and then Tiffany Haddish went on to do Girls Trip and other movies. I think it was Night School.
Yeah, that movie too.
She was with Kevin Hart, so she went on to do some big things. But yeah, I feel like it's a place for every type of comedian. And that I even when it comes to like comedians, I like they're all different. So like, for example, I like Dave Chappelle from his stand-up. Not his stand-up. I liked him from when he was doing the TV show. But then I went back and watched the stand-ups. And
wait, so Okay.
So when I first got introduced to Dave Chappelle, even though I didn't know, I already seen him before.
Right.
So I seen him,
Nutty
but I didn't know.
Professor.
Not just
You
Nutty
sniffing
Professor,
on
but
Reggie?
Blue Streak when
Blue
he's in there with
Streak,
Martin. I didn't know
yeah.
that was Dave Chappelle, and then I seen the show, and I ended up getting the DVDs. That was when bootlegging was a thing. You know, you had the bootleg CDs. I had season 1, 2,
I don't know
and
what
3.
he's talking about.
I do. I'm
Shout out to LimeWire, they making a comeback.
Shout out to Soldier Boy.
Yeah, shout out to all them. But yeah, so I had the series, so I used to watch those episodes religiously.
Right.
It got so bad that I remember the songs that Dave Chappelle made for R. Kelly. I wanna be on you. Trip, trip, trip.
Man.
Like those are things that that made me love Dave Chappelle. And
What was
then
your favorite episode with him?
Rick James.
Really?
it's difficult.
I'm sorry, mine is Bigsby.
Bixby, I like Bixby,
Yeah.
but I want to say my favorite. I want to say it's close between the Prince one and the Mad Real World. Mad Real World was hilarious.
That
That
was
was
funny.
hilarious.
But that Bixby one kid, cause
And the what was the Ghetto Olympics when they was gambling?
Go upstairs and put on some lotion.
He said he blew the dice and
the
it was
fact
powder
that-
coming out.
If you want this money, you're going to have to
Shoot me.
Pow.
He said- and it was like he shot him below the knee, so it wasn't a attempt murder. I'm like that, and the what was it, the race draft
Yeah.
where there was where they was like,
We got Wu-Tang Clan.
yeah, Wu-Tang Clan, Wu-Tang Clan.
man,
I like the R. Kelly trial too.
The R. Kelly
Yeah,
trial.
he was
no,
like,
that
wait.
was oh my god, oh my
He was like,
god.
you don't even know if that was real piss. That could have been. He's like, look, I ain't even do that.
He just touched base on so many funny ass things. Like when they switched roles and it was like he had took his black son went with the white family and he was like, I'm gangster, dad. And he's like, oh, you is? Put on your shoes. Let me take you somewhere. He took him to the hood and he's like, oh. He's like, all right, get out and walk on. I was like, yo, this. Like Dave Chappelle to me, he set so many trends as a comedian, and
I
then
got in trouble in school so many times because of him.
For real.
Oh my god, the Bigsby, I took that and ran with it. Or the one where he played Roots when
Yeah.
he got hit, he was like, "Hold on, nigga."
When he got that,
Wait a minute, nigga.
you hit me too hard, right?
Man,
my bad.
Halloween, I think I would look like I was dressed like as a pimp or something.
Yeah.
And I went to school talking about,
For the players ball. When he
yeah,
was like,
but I did.
Silky Johnson.
So, but the thing is, I was acting like a slave master, and I was
Mhm.
like, I saw these little white girls walking. I was like,
Yeah.
"What the hell do you think you're doing?" And they're like,
Oh.
"Are you talking to us?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, those around there behind you," and there was nobody behind them.
Oh my god.
Hey, that players ball.
Yeah, that
I
players.
remember when they had the pictures up and they had a picture of Rosie O'Donnell. He was she looked like she got dick holes in her.
Oh my god. That shit was, and then they had the hate
hate.
Mad Dog called the police on the
Holy
next door neighbors because
shit.
they was making too much money or some shit like that.
Hate.
And then I think one dude ended up getting a girl pregnant or some junk. Like, it was wild. The stuff that they was coming up with.
It's
Man.
timeless.
It's timeless.
There will never be
would never.
another
Chappelle show
ever.
And that's and shout out to these dudes, but I purposely did not watch Key and Peele just because I knew that was supposed to be like them trying to take his spot,
I ain't
and I'm
gonna
like,
lie.
I'm not even gonna give you a shot to
I
take
like
his
him
spot.
as a
I'm not-
producer.
I'm not-
I like Peele for what he do as far as the horror
But I
side.
couldn't get into
They-
it. The
they-
classroom episode was just too much.
I
for
felt
me.
like they forced. I felt like it was
That
forced.
shit was funny.
It was cool. It's like, you know, D nice.
Yeah.
D nice.
Denise.
If y'all say something, now it was, if y'all say some silly ass name, I'm going to lose it. Say your name, Denise.
Yeah.
Say your name, Denise.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron.
See, I never. The only one I liked or that I saw that got me, I think it was the drug deal when they were trying to do the drug deal in the park. But he was like, nah, give me the money. And he's like, yo, like you gotta be like cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're talking about.
and they in a park and it's full of people. And he's like, now put the money in my hand and don't be obvious. And the dude was like, all right, bro, bro, what is you doing?
But you ever with that show? It kind of reminded me of that movie Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah. It was that kind of funny.
Yeah, because
Malibu
you know
Most
how
Wanted.
the gangsters in Malibu's Most Wanted, they were just actors, but they really was just like little choir boys.
That's
and
a classic too, right?
Yeah.
Oh goodness
That's a
gracious,
that's
Malibu Most Wanted. That shout out to that movie.
But
I had a game cast at one point.
I had a game cast.
You never seen the Key and Peele one when they the racist zombies?
Nice.
Oh.
You know what was another funny one I saw was when he the dude was playing president and he was saying, and he was like, how you doing? How you doing? And he was like,
what's good?
Bring it in.
I didn't see too much of those, but the ones that I did see were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's not.
I get what you mean.
I knew
Chappelle.
that's what it was for, and I just didn't accept it. I accepted it more when I started seeing clips, I guess, on social media, and then it was like, oh, okay, these guys are funny. But at that time when they were like trying to take over,
right.
I'm like, man, I'm not watching y'all, and that's when I got more into the stand-up side with them. And then from there, I just was so obsessed with looking for comedians because I grew up watching Comic View. Like that was my thing.
Me too.
Yes.
Like watching, I remember seeing Lil Duval when he had the dreads and
He used to
funny,
sing
and
all
he
the
had
time.
that. He had that Music Soul Child remix.
Yeah.
Who the fuck you fucking with? I done bought you your these drinks. Yes, the fuck you really is my girlfriend.
That was a classic,
That's
man.
a classic. Bro.
But through that, I would say I like Dion Cole. I like Dion Cole because he's a nonchalant comedian.
He's so he brought me on stage and gave me a shot the first time I saw
Oh, for real?
him. Yes.
That dude is hilarious. He is so nonchalant, and I remember seeing
Is that the
him.
one that check off his joke?
Yeah, he used
Yeah.
to do that. Well, he still kind of do it time to time. But back then, when he was on BET Comic View, he used to sit there and be like, "That was funny."
His last special, he did that. Like
Yeah.
when I first saw him, he was like, "All right, I'm gonna give y'all. We gonna see if these artists are in the closet or out the closet."
Yeah.
When I mean, they can come out the closet with all their music.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was when he said Faith Evans, and everybody was like some people was he was like,
Mhm.
"Are we gonna push that bitch back in the closet? She ain't been out the closet since Biggie." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Damn,
the dude is hilarious.
He's funny as
He
hell."
had what was the joke he had? He was talking about his gay cousin, and they was going out, and he was like, "All right, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna meet back up."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Okay, cool." Slap. He was like, "Slap." What the hell? Sounds like a plan. And then he's like, y'all better not steal my cousin phrase. And the whole crowd started laughing because they're like, damn, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Like, I might use that. And then to this day, I still say the phrase cold peanut butter. She thinking of cold peanut butter.
Where you get that from?
Yeah, Dion Cole. That was a joke he said. He talking
Oh
about.
my God.
He said she thicker than cold peanut butter.
You know what I bet you-
try freeze some peanut butter and try to scoop it out. You gonna break your spoon.
Let me tell you. Let me ask y'all a question. So you know how you're saying we said that the Chappelle show cannot be duplicated. So how do you feel about Marlon Wayans doing kind of like a rendition of the Clumps, the Nutty Professor?
It wasn't funny to me. It wasn't.
I didn't have a problem with it just because at the end of the day, to me, I accept that whole family. Like the way they sit, and I feel like they don't get the praise that they should get.
The Wayans,
honestly.
shout out to the Wayans.
Because-
shout every last one of them. Like every last one. I followed them for years.
Yeah, I feel like they don't
There
get
would be
their
no In Living
praise.
Color without them.
It wasn't.
There
I'ma
would be
tell you
no
the-
Jim Carrey.
It would be a
J-Lo,
lot of them.
a lot of these
Jamie
people,
Foxx,
they
all
paved
of
the
them.
way.
It don't even stop there. Like when you think about it, that game cast, that's their nephew. You get what I'm saying? Like there's actors or Scary Movie. There would never been a Scary Movie.
know.
That was strictly written by them
I
and
was
taken
on
from them. But
punishment for years for going to watch Scary Movie.
Scary Movie is one of my favorites. Like
it was hilarious.
they were the first to do it too.
Yeah.
Parody movies, like making fun of other movies. And
Don't Be a Menace is the best one.
Yes.
And to this day,
it is so good that when they talk about
get
the way,
out. Oh, you got to get out.
About to jump your ass in.
And you see this nigga double dutching.
Yeah. You ready, fool?
Yeah. And if you fall, you better pick your ass up.
Bound the drizzle.
Yeah. Or having a dad that was younger than him.
He's like, why ain't y'all invite me to the party? You know you gotta be 18 or older.
Yeah. He told her, he said, and since you a smart ass, I want you to do my homework. You gonna organize my Nintendo cartridges.
He cut his hair and he put the ammonia on his head.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He said, all right, you owe me $30. He's like, $30? I'm your son. He's like, hey, man. But that movie is so classic and such a big movie that people, I used to hear people talk about Menace Society and mess up and call it Don't Be a Menace.
Right?
And I'd be like, no, you mean Menace Society. That's the real movie.
My favorite, I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Cheeseburgers, man.
Please.
What you say to me?
I'll suck you in the
when he's doing the job application and he's sitting there,
What's your sex?
Hell yeah. Salary desire. $3 million. Cash.
Man, that movie is so classic, and they didn't. Marlon Wayans went to go play in Above the Rim, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they touch different things that
Above the Rim?
Yeah,
He was in, oh yeah,
He's
he
Above the
was.
Rim.
He was in that, and he was in that other basketball movie, The Sixth Man.
Yeah.
Shout out to that corny ass movie.
It was good.
It was good. It was
I liked
good, but it was like looking back at it. Okay, so you ever watch movies when you're younger, be like, oh, this movie's so
It hit
hard. You
different
go
when you're
back,
younger.
you like,
I do that shit all the time.
It's like the first Matrix.
I just seen Power Rangers the other day.
That shit was
with
corny.
Ooze.
Yeah,
I'm like, nah.
How these niggas was talking with their mask on? Yeah, we need to do this. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know, we never even realized that the Chinese lady was always like off when it came to her talking. She never talks with her mouth. Like it was always off. Like actual Chinese
I gotta
movie.
go back and watch it. That joke with the Power Rangers was cheesy.
When
as
you
shit.
watch the villain lady, like watch her mouth and then listen, and you'll be like, she's off, like an actual Chinese movie when they doing the dub for it. Like it's hilarious. But
the fact that I watched Barney
is classic.
I'm sitting here like, hey, Mr. Knickerbocker Bucket. I'm like, I watched
I can
this
never
shit.
go back. It's like
watch this.
That's why you just leave it where it's at. It was good for its time.
I'm
And you
like,
just let it
man.
go, bro.
Like I was watching, like everybody didn't like this movie that I knew. I used to watch that Mariah Carey movie back in the days, Glitter.
Oh, that.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't really like that.
Yeah.
I
movie
don't think
too
I ever
much.
seen that.
You-
And if
it's,
I did,
it's definitely a chick flick.
oh,
It was
God.
very corny. And I went back. I was like, "Oh, it's not as good. I used to love this."
It
I'm
don't
like,
hit the same. It don't hit the same.
nigga, like what is you
It don't
watching?
hit the same. But all right. So I said Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
I said Deion Cole. So after Deion Cole, I found this dude because I used to do a lot of YouTube searching and stuff for like comedians on Def Comedy Jam,
Mhm.
and I found this dude Rob Stapleton.
Okay, yeah.
Hilarious.
He's funny as fuck.
God.
The joke that got me was when he talking about like when niggas go to the club and it's that one nigga that ain't got no money.
$3.
Let's talk. What we gonna do? They talking about $3. $3. And then when he talks about getting on the bus and the person in the wheelchair getting on the bus,
Y'all gotta get up.
we can't come back for this man. He's like, oh my God. That and when he talks about finding his homeboy girlfriend cheating on him. She's like, let that be a girl. She gonna be like, how you doing, Rashid? Your kids wanna talk to you. said, what the niggas gonna do?
I ain't even know
I ain't know she was getting down like that.
Who's your fourth one?
All right, so my fourth one, outside of Rob Stapleton, I like.
I gotta go watch him when I get home.
Eddie Griffin, and I like Eddie Griffin
my
because
God.
Eddie Griffin teaches as he
Like
does
D.L.
his
Hughley.
stand up.
I put them two in the same category.
No,
they do
don't.
the same thing, bro.
All
They
respect to
both was
D.L.
at the
Hughley.
Improv at the same time, and I could not pick which one because D.L. Hughley was in West Palm Beach and Eddie Griffin was in Dang, and I'm like, shit.
I'm sorry. I got all respect for D.L. Hughley. You're a great comedian. You know, Kings of Comedy. Shout out to you, what you're doing on your radio. But when it comes down to Eddie Griffin, that man is just different. Like when he's talking, he's talking. When he's teaching, man, I done seen him break down some stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, open up. I forgot I was watching stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so into it. And then he bring you back and make you laugh. And you like,
he'll say
dude,
something
that's
serious,
hilarious.
and then he'd be like, I want to fuck Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, we was just learning
That's
shit.
how, that's how I feel about Dave Chappelle. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dave does that more now.
No, but he been doing that forever. Like I had to put my mom on him because like I used to watch him all the time. My mom always be like, "Bro, what you in there laughing at?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Mom, watch this." So she'll watch it the first time, and because I'm already laughing, she's laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Let me get out the room and you actually listen to the joke."
Yeah.
She got right into it, bro. I'm like, "Bro, this nigga is
He's
creative
hilarious,
as hell,
man.
bro."
Eddie Griffin,
But yeah, I
that
get
guy right there, he just in a different ballpark.
Right.
And then for my number 5, I think I'm gonna put Bernie, just because Bernie, like everything was real. And then even when he made his show, you could see what he was telling jokes about on stage.
Yeah.
And so that's why Bernie sit with
6-year-old boy here.
Yeah, he
Can't say it.
Bust a move.
Milk and cookies.
Yeah, like his and I, shout out to him. He we lost him early,
it's the
but he
GOAT.
was making his transitions from Kings of Comedy to doing TV to doing movies. He was one of those dudes that was able to do it all.
He was.
But
You know what he said
was.
in Kings of Comedy? He was like, oh, so y'all ain't going to give me, because everybody had their own show. Steve Harvey,
Yeah.
and then Cedric was on Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
He had the Hughleys. And he was like, oh, so y'all ain't going to give me my own show. Y'all scared what the fuck I might say to y'all.
Yeah.
But it was just like, he was my all-time favorite because he didn't care. There was nothing you could say about him.
Yeah.
And the fact that his story, like how he used to perform in the subway. If I performed in the subway, I was going to get my ass whooped.
Yeah.
But it was just like, damn, he opened up so many
Yeah.
doors. Like, there's a new comedian, he's not really new, but there's a comedian that came out, his name is Shuler King. He reminds me of him. And it's not because of the big ass eyes. It's just more so how he talks.
Yeah.
It's like, he doesn't cuss like Bernie Mac, because I don't think no one can ever top that.
No.
I could try.
No. I will say there's one, and this would probably be my honorable mention. Paul Mooney. I watched Paul
Rest
Mooney
in
one
peace.
time, and I don't know if it's because I
The
was high
dopest
when I watched it.
He was a dope comedian and writer.
Right.
Yeah, Paul Mooney was so funny. I laughed through a whole stand-up. And it was crazy. I was like, I don't think I ever did that before.
Yeah.
Like, just laugh straight through a whole stand-up.
The only stand-up that I laughed at was Paul Mooney and D. Ray Davis.
D-Ray is another honorable mention.
That man, and the thing is, D. Ray, I love the fact that he's very humble.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. Like, if you write him on Instagram or Twitter or something like that, he will always write you back. Always. Even when I was on Snapchat and I was like, I'm about to go see D. Ray, I'm about to pull up, because he's like, at that time it was like Ricky Smiley, D. Ray Davis. If those two were in town, I was front and center.
Right.
And he'll always be like, thank you for showing me the love. Oh, it's you again. Da, da, da. Like, he really respects his fans. But my thing, that man is a trip. That man, when he said something about when he walked in on his mom, and he talks a lot about his mom, and she had a wash rag talking about something, what you doing in here? I'm like, whoa.
He's like, he said a joke where he was like, this is like probably when he first started. He was saying like he was so ghetto, like he was raised poor. He said it was so bad that the carpet in the house used to be dirty. So he would tell his friends to keep their shoes on. And his mom would snap. He like, Mom, I ain't trying to get my sauce dirty.
Hey y'all, it's me, Holly D, aka Miss Holly Baby, and this is the Temperature Check podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, add them to your favorites, so you never miss an episode.